we've already done the A and the B of the ABCs of introduction. So we've done our attention getting hook, we've done our 2 background knowledge sentences, and now we're on to the C, which is claim. And another word for claim is thesis statement. So this is really where you tell your reader what it is that you're going to try to prove or establish in your paper. And we have already learned a strategy about how to write thesis statements. So like there's a formula for each part of the paragraphs, there's also a formula for how to write strong thesis statements. It works almost every time, and it really is going to help us to have very, very strong thesis statements. So the first thing that you want to do is something we've already done today, which is to read the essay prompt a few different times and really get an idea of what that essay prompt is telling you or asking you. So we did the do what strategy. So we've already done that. That's out of the way. Then you need to find your question words. So your question words very commonly for essays are why or how, but who, what, when, where, why, how. So you need to find those question words and you need to cross them out. You're not going to be using them in your thesis statement, but they are going to help you to write your thesis statement, because then you're going to begin writing your thesis statement and you're going to do it using everything to the right of your question word. So whatever the words are to the right of your question word, you're going to use those to begin your sentence. And you're going to use a linking phrase that is going to help you link your rephrased question that you kind of flip around and link it to your reasoning or your thoughts. So if the question word is why, you're going to use the linking phrase because, and if the question word is how, you're going to use the linking phrase by or in that. So watch me as I do this, and this reference sheet will be in your reference toolkit, if you will, as you guys get going to write your thesis statement. Thesis statements are just one of those things. It takes some practice to get good at them, but the more we do them, the better we're going to get. So watch me as I go through our thesis statement today, and excuse me, our essay prompt today, and how I show you how I turn this into an essay. So our essay topic today is write an essay in which you compare and contrast the themes of growing up in 11 and on turning 10. In your essay, you should describe how. So there's my question word right there. How Rachel and the poet feel about growing up. Just going to dismiss that. All right. So I have found my question word. I crossed it out and I'm taking everything to the right of my question word. So I'm going to do that by putting a text box down here so you guys can see me. Make it a little bit bigger so you guys can see. Let me make it pretty big. And again, you guys can use this for yours, okay? Rachel, actually let me change the color font. Let me make it bright. No, actually I'll keep it red. So you guys, Rachel and the poet feel that growing up, okay, is, maybe I want to say, not a positive experience. Okay, so I used that question to really come up with the similarities. So both, actually I'm going to go back and change it a little bit now that I've read it. I think it sounds a little weird, so I'm going to change it. Both Rachel and the poet feel that growing up is not a positive experience. They feel or think differently about blank, okay? Or you might also say in this part, they feel differently or think differently about blank. You might also say, however, they feel or think differently about blank. Okay, so that's a one sentence claim or thesis statement that gives me the similarity, and now I'm going to be looking for the differences between the two. So I've got a similarity. They both think it's not a positive experience, but now I want to look for how are they feeling differently. So you can feel free again to use my model in your writing, because our goal really is to get you to practice that writing piece. But now I want you to go back into your Office 365 slides, or excuse me, into the web page, and I want you to write that claim statement. You can use my sentence structure to help you. I also gave you a different sentence that you can use as your thesis statement sentence starter in my template. Whatever works for you, but really at the end of this class, you should have your ABCs of your introduction written. You should have your attention getting hooked. You should have your two background knowledge sentences, as well as your claim. Please do that now. Feel free to leave this Nearpod open to guide you or to review it if you need to.